Hi, great people of the teaching fraternity. Welcome to YSB Arena, the Eastern Regional Award winner. Today, we are going to learn how to identify the genuineness of a service provider. How to identify if a service provider is genuine. In my previous video, I gave us some points and I itemized some other factors that will help us to identify if a service provider is fake. And today I'm going to add up to that particular video. So for us to identify that a particular service provider is genuine, one, you have to check on your NTC portal, that is TPG portal, to know if there is a program on the portal. Now, if the provider is not genuine, there is no way the provider will be able to mount a program or a workshop on the portal. So you come to training programs here, then you click on it. Then this means that this is Macadamia. Because Macadamia is able to mount this program online or on the portal, it means that Macadamia is a genuine service provider. So that's the first point. So with this particular type of workshop, this is what we are going to learn. And in this, you have to pay an approved fee of 75 cedis to this Momo line. So per days, I'll just click on register to register this course. Then, after that, I will send 75 cedis to this particular number. So if you still doubt that a particular service provider is genuine, then you can also ask for the program accreditation or the introductory letter from NTC that covers the said workshop. So let's look at an example of that. So we have an introduction of a service provider, and the name of the service provider is ABK Educare Consult. So the introduction says that the introductory letter says that ABK Educare Consult is a service provider who has been certified by the NTC to conduct training on new and emerging technologies for teaching and learning for teachers in Eboakwa South Municipal. So teachers who successfully participate in the program shall earn 2 CPD points in accordance with the NTC CPD framework. A service provider shall ensure that all participants are credited with their CPD points on the portal within 2 weeks after the training. Please kindly provide them the necessary assistance. Note, this accreditation is valid for 3 months, and the conditions under which service providers should work is attached. Thank you. Dr. Christiana Daipoko, PhD, Registrar. So that's the introductory letter. Now let's look at the conditions attached to this particular workshop. Service providers who have successfully had their programs accredited should adhere to the following. The accreditation is limited to the mounted and approved program, as well as the specified district only. So this particular introductory letter is for teachers in Eboakwa South Municipal. So ABK Educare cannot come into my district, Fantaka North, with this same introductory letter to organize any workshop for any teacher here. And to say for any fresh training program to be mounted in another district, say my district, a fresh approval from NTC shall be required. It says that facilitators, service providers are required to engage only facilitators approved by NTC. And in my previous video, identify fake NTC service providers. I did mention of this. You have to ask for the accreditation of the service providers. But in this video, I will speak on this again. The content, what we are being taught, what we are going to learn. Facilitation shall not veer away from the approved content. Just adhere to the rubrics, to the content of this workshop. And the duration. Facilitation shall adhere to approved duration for the program. So the duration of the program, maybe you start at, let's say, 8 a.m. and close at 4 p.m. And the training venue should be conducive for that purpose. So if you want to know how the venue should be, you should refer to the CPD framework. Then training materials. Service providers shall provide training materials to participants. And the amount charged. Service providers shall not charge beyond the approved ceiling. What is the meaning of the approved ceiling? It means that NTC and the various accredited service providers has come to a consensus and on an agreed amount to be charged in any workshop organized. So you could see that in any workshop organized by any of the service providers, there is a charge and there is a fee, and the fee is normally 75 cedis. So that's the approved fee. We can come lesser than that, but it can't go far beyond the 75 cedis being the approved fee. Food. All service providers should ensure that participants are fed and served with water during the training. Honestly, when I saw this, I was like, you said food, and you said we have to be fed and served with water during the training. Well, all the same. So we have to be served with water. So if you go to any of this workshop, do well and ask, even if you are not being fed, because it's passed. So we have 2 points for 75 cedis, and honestly, that's the fee. 2 points, and it's normal. It's normal. Point 3. If you still doubt, you can ask of accreditation of the NTC service providers. But one thing you ought to know is that normally they don't take it along whenever they are going to organize a workshop. They don't go with their accreditation. But this accreditation is more or less like the business registration. Yeah, more or less like a business registration. Then point 4. The point 4, I have it here. The facilitators. Service providers are required to engage only facilitators approved by NTC. So in my previous video, I said that you can ask of the accreditation of the service of the facilitators, the accreditation of the facilitators. But per consultations, I got to know that the profile and certificate of all trainers or facilitators have been submitted to NTC by the NTC accredited service provider, even before the commencement of any workshop. As a result, facilitators accreditation is underway because jaw-to-jaw and consensus building is ongoing for the accreditation of the facilitators, but NTC has approved some facilitators, and as such, they have submitted their profile and that of all their certificates. The next thing I will talk about is the logo of a service provider. The logo of a service provider. Now, all the logos on the site or on the portal of NTC has been attached to what we normally call a calendar, because their accreditation is subject to renewal. They need to renew their license and their accreditation. So they have attached their logo on the portal to the calendar. So let's say after every 1 year, you need to renew your license or your accreditation. It means that on the portal, you see that the logos will be moving one after the other, one after the other. So on the TPG site, the first logo. So let's check how to verify this. So if you click and you come to this interface, don't log in. Just click on this home. it will take you to another interface. Then you scroll down, and in my first video we did this. So these are the accredited service providers from NTC. They have approved and accredited them all. So this is what it means. It simply means that the first service provider, it means the accreditation is about to expire, or you are left with about few weeks to its expiration. And also the last logo here, or the last service provider, also means that that service provider just renewed her accreditation. That's why it's here. So this is what we call, they have been attached to a calendar. So you see that in some few weeks or some few months, this particular service provider will not be here. The logo will not be here again. This one will not be here, and there will be new ones being at the bottom. So it will be floating and it will be moving one after the other. So let's say if the accreditation of, let's say, this particular provider or this provider expires and they renew, it will come at the bottom. Then it will be moving. So it means that those on the first line are heading towards expiration of their accreditation. And also we have what we call development partners. And what if we say development partners, what we mean is that they assist in the development of the skills, the knowledge, attitudes, and sometimes values of teachers and facilitators. And they do not mount their course on the NTC TPG site. These development partners, they don't mount their courses here, as we saw in the Macadamia one, where we saw a course being mounted. But with the development partners, they don't have any. But this is what they normally do. They normally notify teachers and facilitators through their NTC master trainers and through NTC bulk messages. So you'll be there and you'll get a message from NTC for you to register for a particular workshop. It means that that workshop is coming from a DP, a development partner. And for now, I know of only 3 development partners. I know of only 3 development partners. So the first development partner I know is World Reader. That's the first development partner, World Reader. And from about some weeks now, we filled forms for their workshop, so World Reader. And you will never see their course on the TPG portal. But whenever you partake in their course, you get your CPD and credit points as well. The second one is Commonwealth of Learning. There is no way you will go online or you visit your site and you will see any workshop organized by COL. But they have their own site where they do organize workshop for free. And I do believe I've spoken about this free online service providers in my first video, identifying fake NTC service providers. And the next one I will talk about is Instill Education. The Instill Education. So these 3 are what are called the development partners. So far, these are the ones I know for now. Then one thing I would like to talk about is, colleagues, we have NTC accredited program, but not NTC program. What I mean is that this is because NTC has approved and accredited service providers and the courses or programs they offer. In this case, the programs still belong to the service provider, but not NTC. So let's take note of this particular difference. I am selling my product. If I am a service provider and I'm selling my product, this is what I will do. I will go to FDA for vetting and approval and whatsoever. Then I'll get a logo or a sticker from FDA and I'll place such logo on my product. This doesn't mean that this product or my product belongs to FDA. It's my product, it's still my product. So upon certification, approval, and accreditation by NTC, all the programs organized by these service providers belong to them. But NTC is in full support. It doesn't mean it is for NTC. So today we have identified how to know the genuine NTC service providers, and we did that using the portal. If there is a program mounted, we also ask for the accreditation of the program or the introductory letter. We can also do so by asking for the certificate of accreditation from NTC, and that of the facilitators too. They should be NTC approved ones. And we also look at what we call the attached calendar. The logos be attached to a calendar and subject to renewal. Then we also look at the development partners. So these are few things we need to know as teachers, so that we'll be able to do the needful, be able to stand our grounds and ask questions relating to this licensing issue. Thank you. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, and click on the notification bell, because your comment is my life wire. YSB, the NTC burden bearer.